Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Canada Day 2025 by full deck and missing a few cards. For those of you who don't know, Canada Day is celebrated on July 1st, and so that was a few days ago. On the Logic Masters Germany page for this puzzle, Viking Prime left their favourite bit of Canadian history, and that was quite interesting, so I recommend you go check that out. I will leave a link to the LMD page for this, as well as the normal link, which has the puzzle for you to try. Okay, let us have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every box. Parity line. Digits along the parity line alternate odd and even. So if this is an odd digit, this will be an even digit. And then this will be an odd digit. And then this will be an even digit. And so on. Consecutive dots. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. That is all of the instructions, all the rules. So I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay. I just want to go ahead and colour the line, because that will probably make things much easier. So, we know that if this is even, this is odd, so this would be even. So every second cell along the line is going to have the same odd even parity. I need to make sure I count right. That appears to be correct. I am going to colour those dark green. The other ones I will colour light green. And where we have a white dot, we can also colour those, because if this is an odd digit, then the consecutive digit must be even, and vice versa. So we can make that one dark green, we can make that one light green, we can make that one light green, and now we have 5 light greens in this box, and so they must be odd digits, because there are only 4 different even digits. So I prefer to use orange as my odd. I will make blue my even digits, and now that one must be even, so must those two. That one must be odd. That is clearly odd, as is that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. So let's mark those. Let's mark these even digits, and then in this box I need one more even. Let's see, I've got all of my even digits for this column, so those must be odd. I've got all my even digits for the box, so those must be odd. That is odd by the white dot. That is even by the white dot. That one is odd by the white dot. This is even by counting the box. These are odd because we've got all the evens in the column. I've got all of the evens. Sorry, I've got all of the odds in this box, so this must be even. That gives me all the evens in the column, so that is odd. I've got all of the evens in the row, so those two are odd, those two are now even. This is the last remaining even in the row. That was the last even in the column. That is odd by the row count, making that even. If I could type the right color. And I think we still have a little ambiguity at the bottom, which will be resolved by filling in some digits, I guess. Okay, we now have most of the grid colored, so we can start doing some sudoku. That must be a 7. That must be a 6 or an 8. That must be a 2-4 pair, and those must be 6 and 8. So this must be 2 or 4. That means this is 1, 3, or 5, but it can't be a 1. So that's a 3 or a 5. That can't be a 9 by sudoku, so that's a 9. That's an 8. That makes this a 6. This is a 2 or a 4, but it's not a 2, so that's a 4. That's a 2. That can't be a 5 anymore, so it's a 3. And this must be the 5. That 2 is looking up, making this 4 and this 2. This must be a 2-6 pair. This must be a 4-8 pair. These then are 3, 5, and 9, and that's not 3 or 5, so that's 9. 3, 5 there. That makes this a 1-7 pair. Okay. So these two cells are 2, 6, or 8. And this one is not 6. In fact, 2 in this box must go here. So that's a 1. That makes that 7. That makes that 8. This is a 4-6 pair for the row. That is a 2-4 pair for the column. This must be 1, 3, or 5. I don't think I know. This must also be 1, 3, or 5, but it can't be a 1, so that's a 3 or a 5. All right, this is a 4 or a 6. So this is 3, 5, or 7. Okay. That's a 2 or a 4. That is not a 1 or a 7, so that's 3, 5, or 9. Okay, if that's 3, that has to be a 4, because it can't be a 2. If it's a 5, it's a 4 or a 6. If it's a 9, it's an 8. Okay, that didn't really help very much. That is 4, 6, or 8. And these are 2, 4, and 6 from the column. Okay, where else to look? is 1, 3, or 5. No, there's a 1 in one of those. One of those is a 1. If that's a 1, then that must be a 2. And then that would be a 3, which seems reasonable. One of those two is a 6 by Sudoku. One of those two is a 6 by Sudoku. Okay, those are from 4, 6, and 8. So that's from 3, 5, or 9. That's from 3, 5, 7, or 9. Okay, is there some trick that I'm missing? Yes. Let's have a look at those three. Those are 3, 5, and 9. That's a 3, 5, 9 triple. That makes that a 7. And that's a 1. That's not a 1. That is. That 7 means that that is not where the 4 goes, but it still could be 6 or 8. That's not a 9 by Sudoku. These 3 digits are 6, 3, and 7. And this one is not a 6 because we know it's an odd digit. Okay. These 2 digits are from 3, 5, and 9. And that is not 3 or 9, so that's the 5. That is not a 9, so that's a 3. So that's the 9, and gives us a 3, 5 pair up here. This is now the only place for a 1 in this box. This is 4, 6, and 7. That's not a 7, so that's the 7. That's odd. This must be even, and we get a 4, 6 pair. That 4, 6 pair means that that's a 2, so that's a 3. That is not a 3 anymore. That's a 7, making this a 3, 6 pair. That sees 1, 3, and 7, so that is 5 or 9. This 2 is looking up, giving us a 4 here and a 2 here. That 4 does not resolve this 3 and 5, but it does mean that those are not 4, and now this can't be a 3. There we go. If that's 6, it's 5. If that's 8, that's 9. We've got a 6, 8 pair. That's a 2, so that's not a 2. One in this column can only go here, so that is not a 1. This is a 5 or a 9. This is 3, 5, or 9 by the row. If that's 3, that's 2 or 4. If it's... well, that can't be a 9 because that can't be an 8. So that's 2, 4, or 6. And this is 2, 4, or 6. Okay. That can't be a 9 because it's not next to an 8. So that's where the 9 is. That must be a 5. So that's not the 2. That's a 4, 6. That's a 2. That makes that 6. And that's 2. That is no longer a 6. This 9, yeah, that's a 5 or a 7, but it's not a 7 by the column. So that's a 5, that's a 7, that makes this 6, which makes this a 4. We got a 6 here, an 8 here, and a 4 here. And that's 8 and 6 can go in. The 8 means that that's a 9. That means in this row, this is the 9, and this is a 5 down here. I need a 4 in this column, and it appears to have to go there. That means that this must be the 9. These must be, that must be the 1. That must therefore be an 8. That means that this is a odd 3 and an even 6, and our colouring is finally done. This 3 looks up, making that a 5 does not resolve this pair, but we do get a 7 here and a 9 here. No, we do not. That is a 3 there. That's better. Don't know why I thought that was a 9. That's a 5. That's a 3. That's 5. That's 3. This 5 is looking up. That is a 3. That is a 5. That is now 9. That makes this an 8. You get a 3 for the last odd digit. And then 4 and 6. 4 and 6 and 4 and finally 8. Canada was created on 1st of July 1867. On 1st of July 1982, the former Dominion Day became Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. So, for all you Canadians out there, I hope you had a great Canada Day, that you enjoyed it and celebrated in whatever way you feel is appropriate. I love that puzzle. I'm going to remove the colouring so that we can enjoy the image a little better. But thank you very much to Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards. Happy Canada Day to you both. I believe that Missing is Canadian. Hope you had a great day. Thank you for the puzzle, and if you enjoyed this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.